The object of the game tonight is to raise the Jolly Roger when it's all done. It's a Free Shirt Friday here at PNC Park, and it's game one of a 3-game weekend set with the Chicago Cubs. Hi again, everyone, along with Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett. Pirates news today. Nate McLouth designated for assignment. Matt Haig has been recalled from AAA Indianapolis to take his place. He's in the lineup at first base. But the man he'll have to face, and the rest of the Pirates lineup will have to face, is Ryan Dempster, a guy, Steve, who is winless in his last 16 starts dating back to last August.
Yeah, but don't take him lightly. He's a veteran. He's been around. He knows how to pitch. He knows how to win. And a lot of guys are under the delusion that he doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he racks up his share of strikeouts and then some. One thing to keep in mind about Ryan Dempster also, he is not afraid to come in and move batters away from home plate. We'll watch that tonight.
A couple of veterans tonight. Dempster, 35 years of age, and his opposition, A.J. Burnett, also 35. He's the subject of our PNC achievement for the Achiever in You. He's been good over his last 3 starts.
And he has been very, very good in this ballpark, and he does have that exceptional stuff, even at age 35. A.J. Burnett is capable of racking up a bunch of strikeouts, and with this team, the Chicago Cubs team that is struggling dearly, I think he's going to be in double figures tonight. I look for him to have a big game.
A.J. Burnett and Ryan Dempster. That's the pitching matchup as the Bucks look to get the bats going. Andrew McCutchen hoping to lead the way in this Central Division tilt as the Buccos play the first of 16 games this season with their rivals, the Chicago Cubs.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. By your Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go, Bucks!
Beautiful shot of downtown Pittsburgh on a warm late May evening. As we cross the river over to the North Shore at PNC Park. Cubs 15-29, the Pirates 20-24. Game one of a 3-game series. Aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. You call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Well, that view never gets old, does it?
It does not. It is so nice. And Matt Haig will enjoy the view from anywhere tonight at PNC Park, recalled from AAA, where last night he got a walk-off single in the bottom of the 15th for the Indianapolis Indians after Alex Presley had tripled to start the bottom of the 15th inning, and then Haig knocked him in with a game-winning run on a 2-1 win. And now Haig got himself to PNC Park after getting the word following the game that he was heading to the big leagues, and now he'll make the start at first base tonight. The Pirates hope his bat can help the sagging averages start to go up.
Yeah. Matt, tag, you're it. And the view is much nicer here than it is in Indiana.
A.J. Burnett will take the hill, and the lineup that he will face sent out by first-year manager Del Swaim. David DeJesus leading off, playing right. Starlin Castro, he is a tough customer. Joe Mather in center field. Brian Lahair had a great start. He's tailed off a bit lately. Alfonso Soriano, followed by Adrian Cardenas. Darwin Barney, Coy Hill behind the plate, the switch hitting catcher. And the pitcher, Ryan Dempster, is 0 for 15 at the plate. His Cubs will face A.J. Burnett.
Yeah, A.J. making his 7th start. His numbers brought to you by the Western PA Chevy dealers. 2-2. ERA is up there. He got pounded. That one game inflated those numbers. He has been very, very good here in this ballpark. His 3 starts at PNC Park. And quite frankly, he's going against a team that is struggling terribly. Lost their last 9 in a row. And the problem is, a lot of people predicted this in the wintertime, that it would go this way for the Cubbies. They had a little decent run earlier, but it has been misery. James Caan and Kathy Bates kind of stuff since then.
Well, Del Swaim, guy who has had a history with the Pirates for certain. In his first year as a skipper with the Chicago Cubs. Well, for the Pirates defensively in the outfield, Jose Tabata starts again in left. McCutcheon in center. Josh Harrison starting to get used to this right field thing. Alvarez and Barnes on the left side. Walker and Haig on the right side, with Barajas catching Burnett.
A.J. won his first start and his most recent start.
Well, Matt Haig was sent back to the minor leagues on the 14th of April while the team was in San Francisco. Struggled a little bit when he went back. And I think, Steve, when guys go back, they tend to want to do something to get them back to the big leagues right away, and then you fall into that trap of trying to do too much too early. But he has really been catching up with himself lately.
Yep. What you got to guard against is just caving in emotionally. Oh, they sent me down. I might not be good enough to play in the big leagues. You got to fight that, because you got to be almost twice as impressive to get back. They've seen your act once. It's got to be a better act to get you back here a second time. And here he is. Good for him.
David DeJesus in the box, 282 hitter. And the first pitch of the game is in for a strike.
But Hunter Wendelstedt barks out that first strike in the first inning of this first game against the Cubbies.
Hunter Wendelstedt behind the plate. Dan Bellino at first. Crew chief Jerry Lanes at second, and Bob Davidson, the umpire, at third. Strike 2 call to David DeJesus. DeJesus with just the 1 home run, 10 runs knocked in. First batter of the ball game for Chicago. One inside for a ball, 1-2. DeJesus with one of the better on base percentages as a leadoff hitter in the National League. Rafael Furcal of St. Louis leads the way with 400 on base percentage. Michael Bourne of Atlanta next, 368, and DeJesus third at 365, followed by the Marlins' Jose Reyes at 345. 1-2. Just missed the inside corner.
Yep, you got to figure Reyes is going to be up at the top of that chart or near it. Against DeJesus, defensively, Pirates pretty much straight away. Andrew McCutcheon maybe a step toward left center, and he's still out in that little half moon sun field. You see it there. It'll be going away midway through the second inning. Won't be a factor, but now Andrew's got to pick up that ball early and stay with it.
A.J. Burnett's 2-2 pitch is potted foul, and for A.J., He needs 2 innings to reach 2,000 innings pitched for his career. Once he gets past the 2nd inning here tonight, he'll join 16 other active players in Major League Baseball to have 2,000 innings under their belts.
And 2 more wins to get to 125 as a Major League pitcher. By the way, the Cubs have never beat A.J. Burnett. 4-0 in 5 starts against the Cubbies.
2-2 missed on the inside edge again.
The Baby Bears. And control for A.J. Burnett. He has made 6 starts. He's walked a total of 10 batters. That's good.
DeJesus now awaits the payoff pitch from Burnett. Up to right field, but right at Josh Harrison for out number 1.
And that's always a good sign because that ball is hit sharply, but right on the line out to right field. 1 down.
Here's Starlin Castro. Castro, 3rd in the league in multi-hit games. He's got 18 of them. And it's all this young man seems to do is hit.
He's good. He's a good player. And he's been that way since he arrived on the scene.
Well, Castro waits, and the pitch. That misses. 346 hits in his first 2 big league seasons, 2010 and 2011, not counting what he's done this year, but in his first 2 big league seasons. Modern day franchise record for the Cubs, surpassing Glenn Beckert's 335 hits in 65 and 66.
Who grew up in Pittsburgh's north side, not too far away from this yard, Glenn Beckert. I think Castro had, what, 207 last year?
Yeah,
he was over 200.
He's getting accustomed to that 200 mark each year, which is certainly a milestone for anybody in any season. Burnett's 1-1 to Castro. Right down the middle for a called strike.
Right down Grant Street.
Well, Burnett ahead of Castro. Cubs shortstop. The 1-2 pitch. Foul off. Watch out. Shot up into the seats over the Cubs dugout on the first base side. Castro has started all 44 of the team's games prior to tonight. He has not sat out. He has hit safely in 37 of those 44 games. Reached base safely in 38 of the 44 that he's played so far for Chicago. 1-2 pitch. AJ evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This just in, Tim. There's still time to get down here. It is a perfect night to watch a major league game. Rush hour is done. Yep. Get in your car. Come on down. There's still time to watch a lot of baseball. It's one of those perfect nights.
Great crowd here on a free shirt Friday.
Come on down. You could be here in this ballpark watching the long ball be a factor. There's a nice gentle breeze kind of blowing out toward left center field. Give the ball a good bit of carry. And that is just spectacular. The pearl of the Allegheny.
A.J. Burnett deals 2-2. That's up high, and he's gone full to the 2nd consecutive hitter. It was full to David DeJesus before DeJesus lined out to Harrison in right field. Now Castro, 3-2.
So don't tarnish those good control numbers, A.J. Talking about 10 walks and 6 starts, less than 2 a start.
Payoff pitch. Fouled it back. There's a buzz around the ballpark here tonight. Just the number of folks who are here.
Well, getting into real
Friday
baseball
night.
season.
I mean, it's like summer now, Steve. Temperature in the mid-80s tonight. It's going to be like that throughout the course of the weekend. Going to be a warm Memorial Day weekend.
Holiday weekend. Folks are buzzing around, looking for a good time.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Starlin Castro. To right field, that's curling, and that will be a foul ball. The next pitch to Castro will be the 10th of the at bat, so he's making A.J. work early. One out, top of the first, base is empty. Here's Burnett's 3-2 again to Castro. That's up the middle. Walker with a diving stop, throws to first. Haig the stretch. Oh, just missed. Terrific play by Walker just to get there. And never mind to get a throw on the bag, but it was a bang-bang play, and Castro beat the throw.
Wow, and I'm kind of surprised it was that close because Castro has much better than average speed, so that ball takes a while to get out there, and then Neal gets it over to first base, and we almost got one that we didn't think we were going to get right there. Great effort by Neal.
From the AGH cam, we'll see how close it was at first.
Well, good call by first base umpire Dan Bellino. Usually they are.
An infield single. One on and one out. Throw to first, and diving back is Castro. Now he's not going to be anchored to first base. He leads the team in stolen bases with 12. He and Tony Campana, who's not in the lineup tonight, each with 12 steals.
So there's the speed, and that's, looking at that number, makes me even more surprised about the closeness of the play.
And he's way off the bag. Big secondary lead for Castro, and Barajas just looked him back to the bag.
Almost looked like he was getting ready to take off and just shut it down. You see Dave McKay, veteran coach, a lot of years with the Cardinals, over there working with Starlin. He's got a substantial early lead.
There goes Castro, and the ball is hit in the air to right field. Coming in is Harrison, and he won't have it.
And we almost got him at second base. That play was all over the place because Castro took off. If we catch the ball, it's an easy double play. It drops, and then Castro thought it was caught. He started heading back toward first base. There he goes. There's the initial move to second. That's why I thought we had him, because there he goes back. He's down on the ground, and now we almost get the force play. A lot of things happening on that flare single.
Keystone Cops early on, and now here's Brian LaHare coming up, the cleanup hitter, with 10 home runs. He was among the leaders among first basemen in the National League with 10. He has slowed down a bit though lately. Had a very hot start to the season. He takes over for Carlos Pena, who was there last year playing first base for the Cubs. LaHare through the Cubs system, now finally getting his opportunity.
And what are the organizational attitudes about these kind of things? Well, giving him the opportunity to shine. Show us what you got, young man.
2 on and 1 out. The 1-0 pitch coming from Burnett. It's in for a strike. For the first 33 games of the season, LaHare was hitting .361 with 10 home runs, 21 runs batted in. From the 16th of May till now, that covers a span of 8 games. He is hitting .048, just 1 out of 21. No home runs, no runs batted in. The pitch. Strike 2.
You know, I was doing an exchange with Stan Savran. We were talking about A.J. Burnett working with James McDonald, helping him with some things, preparation among other things. And I was tempted to say to Stan, when is James going to start working with A.J.? McDonald has come so far so fast.
He's been good.
The student usually does not surpass the master.
Runners lead from first and second. 1-2 outside, 2-2. Did you have a guy when you came up with the Pirates that you looked to for advice?
All of them. But my good fortune was that I had a pitching coach that had just joined the Pirates at the major league level that had been with me as a minor league instructor all those years, or I had been with him. So I pretty closely worked with Don Osborne. Ozzie was just a great pitching coach for me.
LaHare goes down on strikes.
A.J. certainly knows how to come up with strikeouts when he needs them, and that was a good spot for strikeout number 1. Down and in. Goes to that back foot, or that the back foot breaking ball. Back foot breaking ball. Keeps turning in until it almost gets to that back foot. It's planted.
Now Burnett will face Alfonso Soriano, who has faced Burnett 12 times in his career. He's 2 for 12 at 167, and Burnett has struck him out 5 times.
But he's fire and ice. I mean, he can hit the ball out of any ballpark, or he can strike out against any pitcher.
Pop back for a foul, and that's strike 1.
Looking for the fastball, got it. Still didn't quite catch up to it.
Good average against the Pirates, though. Good numbers in 76 games to have 57 runs batted in and 24 homers.
24 home runs. That's a significant number.
Burnett's 0-1. That's strike 2.
Quick. 93-93. Out in front in the count, 0-2. See if we want to make Mr. Soriano go fishing.
AJ baiting a hook right now. Castro off of second base. Now they're off of first. And the 0-2. Got him. Strike 3. 2 punch outs in the inning for AJ Burnett. Cubs get 2 hits and strand both base runners. Cubs and Pirates, game 1 of a 3-game series. Steve Blass, I'm Tim Never. Glad you're along for the ride. Clint Hurdle's lineup brought to you by Toyota. Tabata leads off, then Harrison. McCutchen in the 3rd spot. And Neil Walker against the Cubs has had tremendous success. 344, 17 extra base hits in 25 games. Walker and the Bucks taking on right-hander Ryan Dempster.
This veteran certainly no stranger to the Pittsburgh Pirates. This will be career start number 25 against the Bucks for Ryan Dempsey. First 24 starts against the Bucks. He's 8-12, 0-2 this year, but an ERA under 2.5.
First pitch to Tabata is upstairs for ball 1.
Kind of rough going for Ryan Dempster. Last 2 starts, a total of 12 innings, 8 earned runs.
Tabata taking all the way. 1-1.
Oh, you know it's Ryan Dempster when you see that kind of waggle of the glove. That was done initially way back to kind of eliminate him tipping his pitches, tipping the grips that he has on the ball.
To right field and deep. De Jesus with a running catch.
And that was a dandy. A lot of carry on that ball. Timed his reach just perfectly. Made a real fine player. Tabata will still be running. Ball slicing back toward him a little bit. That helped, but he went a long way. And you can see he just goes up with the glove at the right time, not in between steps. And gets it. Pretty looking catch.
De Jesus, fortunate he's left-handed. If he's righty, that's going to be a tough catch to make. Tougher than that one. It's the extra reach being left-handed. Harrison with a career-high 9-game hitting streak going. The 0-1. And Josh to right field, and this one's going to carry a little bit, but ballpark will hold it. De Jesus busy early on.
All right, let's try somebody else. You can catch him.
Let's take a look at tonight's Rivers Casino tips to win. Steve, what do you have?
Well, 3 items. Don't underestimate Ryan Dempster. I hope that Haig helps. And how about the operative tip? How about we score some runs?
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be nice. Andrew McCutchen, .338 this season. Career against the Cubs, .321. He's 45 out of 140 against Chicago. Has had a very exceptional month of May. 2 balls in, no strikes now to McCutchen. The infield shift is on with 3 on the left side. Second baseman Darwin Barney playing behind the second base bag, almost to the shortstop side. Ryan LaHare all alone to the right side. And McCutchen pops it up. Short right center. On comes Joe Mather to make the catch. And the Pirates go quietly in the first with 3 flyouts to the outfield. A.J. Burnett coming back in a 0-0 game. Comes tomorrow, 7:15 start time. Stay afterward to watch Zambelli fireworks light up the Pittsburgh skyline from the best ballpark in America, thanks to Highmark. It's also an Eden Park Scratch and Win Saturday. All fans receive a scratch card good for prizes from Eden Park. For tickets, visit Pirates.com. Game 2 tomorrow night. Glad you're watching us on Root Sports. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from PNC Park. No score as we go to the top of inning number 2. Adrian Cardenas will take a strike. Cardenas inserted into the lineup later today. Originally, Ian Stewart was going to play third base, but he has a sore wrist. And Dale Swaim took him out of the lineup in favor of Cardenas, who is now behind Burnett, 0-2.
Starting to see these names that look like they might be related to their fathers who had played in the big leagues. Ivan De Jesus, and then there was Leo Cardenas, probably coincidence, probably not related, but starting to see some of those types of names pop up.
Ground ball to Walker. One gone for the Cubs in the second inning. Let's check in with Dan Potash right now. Dan?
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Pretty cool summary here for Reggie Deal. Reggie Deal is blind, but that's not going to stop him from actually visiting all 30 ballparks in 30 days. So welcome to Pittsburgh, welcome to PNC Park. What spurred this idea to visit all the major league ballparks in just over a month?
Actually, technically I guess it'd be under a month if I did it in the month of May, but it's actually something I've wanted to do for a while. Going back about 15 years, and I apologize for the bad voice. I darn near lost it in Cincinnati yesterday, so. But it's actually something I've wanted to do for a while. And circumstance and life just worked out in such a way where I was able to do it. So that's a well-hit ball. Is he going to catch it? Yes, he is. No, he's not.
Oh, he caught it. He caught it. Hey, let me ask you this. What's been the most challenging thing so far on this trip for you? What's the most unusual thing you've been able to experience?
Well, most challenging thing, public transportation and the travel industry in general. I have a long litany of things. I'm not going to go into it here because I kind of went over that for the newspaper piece. But the travel world has some lessons to learn, I think, about travelers who have various disabilities in general. There's some major misconceptions out there that, frankly, I don't know if it's just an ignorance or what, but there's some problems out there, more so than I realized.
Well, we certainly hope you enjoy your stay here. By the way, I stand corrected. That was a base hit. I want to make sure you get the score right there.
I thought I heard the Cub fans cheering because that was a minority that cheered. So,
well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your stay here, and obviously best luck with the rest of the tour. Thanks for the time.
Sure.
Guys, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, Dan. Runner goes, and to throw down, and Darwin Barney is safe. Barney with the base hit is safe at second with just his second stolen base of the year.
Well, what's going to happen when you've got a struggling baseball team? They're going to try anything. So tonight it looks like they're going to try the running game. Castro went early. He had success because of the base hit. And there's the hand getting in underneath before the tag is applied up higher on the body. Great shot by the AGH cam. And that gives you a perspective of what the umpire has to deal with. Where's the hand making contact as opposed to where the tag is being applied up higher on the arm or the other parts of the body. And that's what makes it a tough call.
2-0 to Coy Hill. The catcher is in for a strike, 2-1. Neat conversation Dan had with Reggie Deal. Going to every ballpark. 30 barks in 30 days.
You know, that's a great experience under any circumstances. And then being blind, the challenges, the issues that he is facing make it doubly challenging. Congratulations to him. That is a serious baseball fan.
3-1 now to Coy Hill. Ryan Dempster, the pitcher, on deck. 1 out, top of the second, no score. Cubs with 3 hits. And A.J. Burnett ready to deal to the switch hitting catcher. Puts him on the corner, fills up the count.
Talk about being a baseball fan in a stadium. He could tell that it might be a positive for the Cubs because he could hear the Cubs fans and differentiate that and sort that all out. That is wonderful that he's able to experience baseball through the senses that I'm sure are quite refined that he has.
Burnett's payoff to Hill. To the right side, Matt Haig will take it. 2 men out for the Cubs. Down to third goes Darwin Barney. Matt Haig showing some defense. He'll be out there for a little bit, it seems.
Good hop for him. That's always comfortable. Gets that second out. However, A.J. Burnett's thrown a bunch of pitches here in the first couple innings. A lot of 3-2 counts. He'll be in that range of 40. You don't want to average 20 pitches an inning, but that can be cleaned up. A couple efficient frames.
Seeing Matt Haig out there, something that we may see pretty often in the next few days. There's Dempster. 0 for 15 this year as a hitter. Clint Hurdle saying before the game that they're going to give Matt Haig an opportunity to put some consistent at-bats together here. And he said that Casey McGee and Garrett Jones are on hold at first base right now. Or on pause, I think was the word he used. But that those two guys right there are going to try to get some opportunities in different ways. Jones can get him in the outfield, perhaps McGee at third base. But right now, Clint Hurdle wants to see Matt Haig playing every day for the time being. See if his bat will play.
Hit the pause on the remote. Well, this should be easy pickings for AJ, to be quite honest. It's not automatic, but he's got the man up to the plate that he wants. And there's one of the reasons that I say that. Very awkward swing.
Dempster 0 for 15. Struck out only 4 times. He's been able to put the ball in play 11 times.
Yep. Now take a look at the Laurel Valley Buffet and pick out something you like here, AJ.
Got him. 2,000 innings for A.J. Burnett in his career. We head to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Let's take a look at our AGH injury update. Problems behind the plate for the Cubs. Castillo, Clevenger, and Soto all on the disabled list for various reasons. So Coy Hill is back. He has been with the Cubs in previous years as a backup catcher, but still Soto.
Yeah, he's the one they want back.
That's the guy. Got the torn meniscus in his left knee. Let's look at our AGH Sports Medicine injury update. Coy Hill's been around for a while.
Look they even hide what they say to the umpires. You know, they hold the flap up there like the pitchers hold the glove over their mouth. So an extremely private conversation.
It's all top secret stuff.
I didn't think anything was private in the universe anymore. They might have glove can.
Pedro, first ball swinging, wraps one to right field. This could be a get healthy night for Pedro. You hope so.
Love to see it happen. Hitting the ball hard, finding the hole. Crowd favorite and not a Cubs favorite, Neil Walker. He tortures him.
So 1 on, nobody out. Walker at the plate. 253 this year, pair of home runs, 14 knocked in, 344 and 5 home runs in 25 career games against the Cubs.
One of those was with the bases loaded, was it not? Opening day last year?
It was indeed. Only Neil Walker and Roberto Clemente have hit opening day home runs that have been grand slams in the history of the franchise. 0-1 pitch, and Walker up in the air to center field. Drifting back Mather. They'll make the catch. Another fly ball out. All 4 outs recorded by Dempster have been to either right field or center field, and all have been pretty well struck fly balls.
A little bit of a red flag, giving up those high carrying fly balls and getting the ball upstairs.
And Matt Hay getting a nice hand on his welcome back to Pittsburgh. The opening day roster out of spring training. Sent back to Indianapolis while the team was on the road in the first road trip. And now he's back in there at first base. Told you a little earlier, in case you just joined us, it's been a long night for Matt. Last night, playing for Indy, got the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 15th, the walk-off winner. That's right, the bottom of the 15th against Louisville, the Reds' top farm club. And manager Dean Traynor told him afterward, all right, you're going back up.
Yeah, I can do that. I can get there.
He said, did he have any advice for you? He said, yeah, just keep it simple this time. Don't make it too tough.
Don't try to be Superman.
1 on, 1 out. And Dempster delivers 1-1. And Haig, a comebacker. Dempster drops it. He'll take the only out he's got. Pedro safe at second base after Dempster had a room service double play ball dropped.
Exactly right. And Ryan did the thing you do as a veteran. You bobble the ball, can't get the handle on it. You shut down that double play and take what's left. That'll frustrate you, but he's been around long enough to put that behind him and move on. There, the second grab. Probably didn't want to hear close up what he was saying to himself after he bobbled that ball momentarily.
I don't know if you could repeat it. So Dempster now will face Rod Barajas, Pirate catcher, who has been a different guy in April than he has been in May. In April, 143. 2 extra base hits, no RBIs. In May, 280, 8 extra base hits, and 7 runs knocked in. All 4 of his home runs have come in May. Got a duck on the pond with Alvarez at second base, and he takes a strike.
Well, if you want to score Pedro from second base, well, you got one thing going for it. There's 2 outs, so he'll be out for contact. But you hit the ball right at somebody, it could get exciting at home. We want excitement at home plate.
Always.
We want safe calls.
Always.
We haven't had enough action at home plate.
Well, Rod trying to catch up in the risk department. Runners in scoring position. He's got 1 hit this season with runners in scoring position, but it was a 2-run home run. And now he's got 2. Pedro being sent home. Here comes the throw from De Jesus. The play at the plate. Safe! He got his hand in there. 1-0 Pirates. Rod Barajas, a 2-out RBI single. And the Bucks on the board first.
Post business as we expected at home plate, but Pedro was able to see that back door available, so kind of slid the hand across, avoided the tag. They had a good shot to get him. You see more and more catchers seem to be out in front of home plate, leaving that back door open. Check it out. There's a throw, and it's a good one. But you see, the back door is available. Comes in, the catcher is out in front, and that's how you can get in there. And when you're coming in from third base, you see that availability. You can evaluate what you might have to do. You might have to bowl him over. You might have to slide a certain place. But you see that area, and that's what you go for. And you can slide very, very wide and just skim that hand to the left over home plate. He did that beautifully. Nice job by Pedro. Nice job of base running.
0-1 to Clint Barmas. The Bucco is shortstop. Upstairs 1-1. That was using all means available for Pedro.
Yep.
Barajas, the runner at first base. 2-1. Barmas at 178, but lately things have been getting a little better for him. He's 2 for 3 on Wednesday and has 5 hits over his last 11 at bats. This one ripped down to third base. Grabbed by Cardinals. Throw to first. Safe!
Pirates keep it going. I think they're going to charge an error, and they do, to the third baseman, because the throw would have beat him at first base. Nice snag, but then the short hop, yeah, they had him at first. Not the easiest play, but all that secondary. The Pirates keep the inning alive.
Brian LaHare at first base. The error charged to Adrian Cardenas.
All in all, a good at bat. That ball was sharply hit. Good contact by Clint.
2 on and 2 out for the pitcher. A.J. Burnett is looking for hit number 1 of the season. And in spite of the fact this is his 7th appearance of the season, he's only had 7 at bats.
That's not the equation you want. You want lots of at bats. Lots of at bats. That means you're going deep into ball games.
A.J. fouls this one off.
Dempster has him in a tough spot, hoping to return the favor. And A.J. struck him out comfortably.
Barajas at second, Barmas at first, and Burnett whips one into center field, and it hung up there for Mather. Pirates leave 2, but get 1 in as Rod Barajas, with 2 outs, gets the base hit to score Pedro Alvarez for the game's first run. It's 1-0 Pirates after 2. Heading to the top of the 3rd inning at PNC Park. Kids getting into the Memorial Day weekend spirit. What we hope will be a great Memorial Day weekend here at the ballpark. You see the Bucks on the diamond? Now you can get an exclusive look at them off the field on an all-new Inside Pirates Baseball. This week, the team talks about Andrew McCutchen's hot streak. We'll go golfing with James McDonald, Daniel McCutchen, and much more. Inside Pirates Baseball tomorrow, 6:30, right here on Root Sports.
Face painting going on with your Bucko hat.
A.J. Burnett gave the Cubs a scare when he launched the line drive to center field. It hung up for Mather. And now A.J. working on his 2001st career inning. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. It'll be the top of the order. David DeJesus, Starlin Castro, and Mather to face the Pirate right-hander. Still making their way across the Clemente Bridge.
Why not? Under the banners, under the painted banners. A lot of people in this ballpark tonight. Great to see. Great energy. This baseball time of the year. These shots from the DirecTV blimp are incredible. The beauty when you look on the rivers and look at the ballpark. It's gorgeous.
Ball 1 to DeJesus. He lined out to Harrison his first time up. He's 0 for 1. So the Cubs, losers of 9 straight. And you know, one thing offensively for the Cubs, Steve, they've only scored 4 runs in their last 49 innings.
Right team to play at the right time, perhaps.
Things have been struggling for Dale Swaim's Cubs, and you feel bad for Swaim. in his first year as the skipper, coming over as the from Milwaukee, where he was the hitting coach. Had a chance to manage them briefly on an interim basis a couple of seasons back.
Yeah, you feel bad for him, but there's only 30 of those jobs too. They ain't all bad. They ain't all bad, but he's hurting with them. That you don't want to go through these streaks.
Don't forget he managed in Altoona. John Wehner was the hitting coach.
The Rock.
Dale was one of those guys that was considered a can't miss kid, a shortstop, and then the bad knee injury really set him back.
Still wound up with a good career, good guy, good baseball man. A touch of the old school in him, which is always a good thing.
And a base hit for De Jesus. Lead-off single for the Cub right fielder.
That hitting zone right on the inside corner, not quite far enough in. There's a good stroke on it.
Starlin Castro now at the plate. Got his 57th hit of the season. An infield single in the first. Castro 5th in the National League in hits. David Wright of the Mets, who just left here. Rafael Furcal of the Cardinals, each with 60 hits in front of him. Michael Bourne 62, and the leader in hits is Melky Cabrera of the San Francisco Giants. He'll start the night with 67 hits. Big resurgence in the career of Melky Cabrera in San Francisco. The Pacific time zone seems to agree with him.
They're playing Miami tonight. Lincecum is pitching for the Giants, and he's becoming a great concern. He's 2 and 4 with San Francisco, and they're starting to hear rumblings about the concerns about Tim Lincecum.
Nobody out to Jesus at first, and a pitch blocked by Barajas. De Jesus, he can run a little bit, but hasn't had a lot of success stealing bases.
Not a lot. Yeah, like 0 for 4.
Yeah. He's over. Barney took off last inning and got one.
Yeah, and they're going to run regardless of being 0 for 4. His stolen base numbers. They're going to run tonight because they're just scuffling to score runs. They're going to take chances. They're not hitting the ball. When you're not hitting the ball, you're going to be a little more aggressive. You got to press it a little bit. So you've seen that with 2 attempts.
2 balls and no strikes. And now Burnett falling behind 3-0. 49 pitches already for Burnett. It's got to be a concern to Ray Searles, pitching coach. The Pirates worked hard to get a run in the second inning, and the worst thing you can do is give it right back. Nobody out, runner at first base, and a 3-0 count to Castro. AJ gets back in the count. Strikes, 19 balls, 50 pitches total for Burnett. There goes the runner, and this one's flat fouling out of play into the upper deck down the right field side of PNC Park.
You know, Tim, how we always send out good good wishes for that. Well, it worked. My good friend, neighbor down the street, one of the great baseball fans and knowledgeable baseball fans in the Pittsburgh area, Mike Morelli. We've been hoping he would gain some ground. He has. He's feeling much better. And Mike, it's great to hear that. And he is truly a sensational baseball fan and even a better Pirate fan. Mike, good to hear all the good news.
There it goes again, and this one is chopped foul. That's a fair ball. So Castro's out. Ball sat right in front of home plate in fair territory. De Jesus safe at second base. And Castro is out, 2 unassisted.
probably going to be the easiest out you're going to see the Pirates record tonight. About 4 or 5 inches out in front of home plate and just sat there. Starts behind home plate. Castro's hoping that it stays there, but look at that thing out there in front. Just to, as we look at it, the left of the chalk, which makes it fair. And that's what the catcher should do. You know, sometimes, is that fair or foul? Tag the guy. They'll sort it all out.
Make the play and let them figure it out.
Yep.
You're right. Absolutely. So tying runs in scoring position, 1 out. Joe Mather, the center fielder, he takes on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Mather had a base hit, had a looper to right field in the first inning.
All kind of action on it because a lot of people thought it was going to be caught. A lot of people thought it wasn't going to be caught. Wasn't caught. Still interesting.
A.J. looks the runner De Jesus back to second base. Mather's hit safely now in 8 of his last 10 starts. He's 4 for 15 with runners in scoring position. That's .267 average. And Burnett wants to keep De Jesus right where he is. 1 man out. He's got Mather at the plate ahead of him 0-1. Starlin Castro still not too happy about being tagged out by Barajas.
Yeah, when you start talking to walls.
Yeah, but do the walls talk back?
Good try on the backdoor slide. Yeah, that's when you got a problem. Then you start doing what the walls tell you to do. That's when it really gets
Hit
bad.
me with a helmet.
Yeah.
Hit me with a bat. All right, I'm tired. Go down in the hallway and hit something else.
Yeah.
Slow roller foul for strike 2.
The problem is if you have one of those situations like Castro had, if the guy in front of you had a bad time and he's not done down on the runway beating his bat into sawdust, then you have to take a number, wait your turn.
Mather now is hitting 3 straight for Chicago. Well, he's having a meeting with himself right there. Not too happy. It's not a positive meeting. You ever sit there and dugout, guys upset, just talking to himself, nobody in particular, just chirping away?
Well, yeah, you usually give them some room.
That was good company.
You know when he's just talking to himself too, so you don't even have to answer. He's just trying to get it figured out verbally.
1-2, got him. Strikeout number 4 for Burnett.
And he's getting them at the right time. And on second, 1 out, breaking ball, out of the strike zone, gets him to chase, and the range resources grid.
So Burnett got LaHare last time to strike out. He had consecutive strikeouts at the end of the first. LaHare and Soriano. He struck out Dempster and now strikes out Mather. Pitch to the first baseman is in for a strike. Reached base safely in 32 straight games dating back to April 8th before going 0 for 4 May 16th against the Phillies to end that streak. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brian LaHare. That streak of 32 straight reaching base was tied for the second longest streak by a Cubs first baseman since 1945. So they've been around a while.
That's even before Ernie Banks. That might have been the Tinkers, the Evers, DeChance era.
LaHare bounding ball to Neil Walker. That takes care of that. 1 hit. 1 man left through 2.5. It's the Bucks 1 and the Cubs nothing. Got a good view inside here of a 1-0 Pirate lead. Top of the order. Jose Tabata, Josh Harrison, Andrew McCutchen facing Ryan Dempster in the third. Tabata lined out to right. And that one is going to put him on first. The Cardinals couldn't play it. And then when Castro planted a throw, he didn't have a throw.
Yeah, because they almost had a chance. If Castro holds his footing, he's going to make a throw. And perhaps it would have been interesting. A moot point. A tough night for Mr. Cardenas, error number 2.
Now's the time to get a cash in.
Yeah, when they start giving you extra outs per inning, they're already a team that's struggling. They're going to have to fight that feeling, oh, here we go again.
Throw to first, Tabata back. Josh Harrison at the plate. He flied to right to DeJesus in the first inning also. Harrison's hit 9 straight, 270 the average.
Do it, Josh. Just keep it going. Keep riding that bicycle till it tips over.
Stairs for ball 1. Standing next to Josh when bench coach Jeff Bannister put the lineup card up in the clubhouse today. He didn't know what the lineup was. He looked at it, saw himself hitting second, playing right field again. He said, "You're kind of getting used to this right field thing, aren't you?" He just laughed and said, "Yep, you know it." Down to third. Cardenas tackles it. They go to second for 1, back to first, too late.
You're right. He surrounded that one.
He jumped on this one like it was a hand grenade.
Hot potato.
Well, Barney got the worst of it, probably the second baseman. Well, not too much there. Barney got out of the way, coming to the inside of the bag. So Harrison aboard on the fielder's choice. Tabata out 5-4 on the force out. Andrew McCutchen. He popped out to center field first time up. Barrel Automotive league leaders in OPS through May. Carlos Beltran is having an unbelievable month for St. Louis, and McCutchen right behind him ahead of Josh Hamilton, David Wright, and Alan Craig. Barrel.com, definitely worth the click. On base plus slugging. OPS.
If you're ahead of Josh Hamilton in any category, you are smoking the ball.
Hamilton has had a great start to the year for the Texas Rangers. Hamilton just passed by Paul Konerko, the White Sox, in batting average. Otherwise, he was leading in all of the Triple Crown categories. Hamilton with 18 home runs leads the American League. 49 runs batted in. Leads Edwin Encarnacion of the Blue Jays by 12 runs batted in.
Well, Konerko's not too far down those lists either, is he? He's strong with the home runs.
Well, he's creeping up. He's got 10. Still 8 behind Hamilton.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I thought I saw 14. He's in double figures.
Harrison gets back. 1 man out, 1 man on. 2 balls and a strike to Andrew McCutchen.
And Dempster trying to work around some defensive lapses. Ryan Dempster drafted way back in 1995 in the 3rd round by Texas, and then stops at Florida and Cincinnati before becoming a Cub.
Harrison a good jump, swing and a miss, throw down, and Josh is in with a steal.
Well, if you said it for the Cubs, got to say it for the Pirates. You're scuffling to score runs. You're going to try anything. You're going to press. You're going to be more aggressive. Here we go.
First stolen base for Josh Harrison.
Head first, comfortably in. It's like throwing that parachute out in the back of your race car. Gets to the finish line, and yep, let's shut it down.
See if the Pirates can come out with some More production with a man in scoring position. Pitch inside. That's now 3-2.
Yep, and that's what Dempster will do. He'll protect his pitching run. He'll come inside. He hasn't hit anybody this year, and you don't need to hit anybody to accomplish all that. A couple years ago, he hit 10 batters.
Three and 2 to McCutchen. Harrison at second, and the pitch by Dempster. Back foul past third. As we mentioned, Harrison's first stolen base of the season. The last one he had came against his hometown team, the Cincinnati Reds, September 24th of last season. Josh had a good jump too. Really good jump on Dempster. See the lead as a bird might see it flying by. Off speed and way out in front was McCutchen. He strikes out.
First for Dempster. And that one is well placed. He needed one there against a good hitter. Made a good pitch. Both these pitchers. Now, Burnett's had 4 strikeouts placed well, and this one strategically placed. You could pick a time to get your first one, that would have been it for Ryan Dempster.
At the plate, Pedro Alvarez got his 18th run banded in Monday when he hit a double off of Johan Santana of the Mets.
Dempster has given up 3 home runs in his first 7 starts before tonight.
Pedro pops it up. This is going to go back into the seats. Now, why is the next RBI important for Pedro? Well, last year he played in 74 games for the Pirates. He had 19 RBIs. He's got 18 right now on the team, playing in its 45th game. And Pedro playing in his 40th game. So if he can knock in Harrison here, get another RBI tonight, perhaps he'd be well ahead of last year's pace, which was certainly not the pace he wanted.
Needs to be substantially ahead.
Inside 1-1. Alvarez 7 home runs, tied for second most among National League third basemen. David Freese of the Cardinals leads the way with 9. Cardinals and Phillies in a slugfest last night, won by the Phillies 10-9.
Well, we just haven't run into one right here.
It's outside, 2-1.
Don't want any part of that one. We might fool around and have 30,000 people here tonight.
Might be nice.
A lot of folks in this ballpark. It's always great to see. Looks as pretty as the skyline in its own way.
Alvarez ahead of that one. Again, pulling the string was Dempster. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Very effective to Andrew McCutchen. Very effective to Pedro there. He's got one.
2-2 coming to Alvarez. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored. The pitch. Fouled off.
Still stayed soft with him. Slow stuff.
Facing Ryan Dempster, a 2-time All-Star.
Right there in a good hitting zone, but he was fooled by the speed out in front. Kind of like to have that one back, probably.
Slow roller up the right side.
Stays slow. And this is the MO of a lot of pitchers against Pedro. You get him in these situations, throw him a lot of soft stuff, slow stuff, and then you go upstairs high with a fastball. And it has been a successful approach for a lot of pitchers.
Pedro 5 for 25 with runners in scoring position. Trying to improve on that mark. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Harrison off of second. And Pedro chases one upstairs and strikes out. Pirates leave a man. We're through 3 full at PNC Park. 1-0 Bucks. Terrific shots from the AGH cam here tonight with Dan Potash and Steve Blass. I'm Tim Everett on a beautiful, beautiful early summer evening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here at the great PNC Park. 1-0 Buccos. Alfonso Soriano will lead things off against A.J. Burnett in the top of the fourth. Strike one. Soriano whiffed his first time up, 0 for 1 tonight.
And A.J. handled him comfortably first time up. 3 fastballs. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3.
1 ball and 1 strike to Soriano. Was hitless in the last game against the Astros before heading over here to Pittsburgh. Ball and 2 strikes now to the free swinging Soriano. 7-time All-Star. Remember, he was a second baseman for a lot of those All-Star appearances. When he went to the Washington Nationals, they wanted him to move to the outfield. He reluctantly did so, and it's actually kind of worked out for him. He strikes out. So Soriano has struck out now twice, and there's 1 down in the Cub fourth. Let's take a look at tonight's AT&T Mobility Trivia question. Can you name the last 5 Cubs to collect 200 hits in a season? Last 5 Cubs to collect 200 hits in a single season.
I got 2 of them for sure. I'll work on that.
Adrian Cardenas at the plate. He will take low for a ball. You got to think Castro.
Last year. I know Billy Williams. 200 hits.
Yeah, but have there been, from the time Billy's played till Starlin Castro, 4 others?
What'd they say? Just told the last 5?
Who the last 5?
Yeah, you can go back as far as you want, can you?
Yeah, you can go back as far as you want, but
there's 3 other ones,
I think,
right?
Well, no, I'm thinking if it's Castro.
Yeah. Oh, the last 5.
There's going to be 4 others before you get to Williams.
Yeah. Well, it's been a struggle for the Cubs. You never know, but you're probably right.
You have to think Sandberg before Williams, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, Sammy Sosa. Maybe.
Possible, sure.
Down to third. 2 gone for Chicago. Let's see, who else? Who else you got? You said you had 2. Well, Billy Williams was the other one.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess we got to eliminate him.
Yeah. You never liked facing him, did you?
I did till I threw a pitch. It was always fun looking at him. He was such a great hitter. And then, oh my goodness, I got to throw a ball to him now. He was one of the best. He was the best I thought I ever pitched against. And there's a lot of people that agree and feel the same way.
Darwin Barney takes a strike.
We all did our part to put him in Cooperstown.
Didn't you pitch a 4-hit shutout against the Cubs and he had all 4 hits?
Yeah, but it wasn't a shutout because it was 9-2. He had 2 doubles and 2 home runs.
Oh, okay.
I remember it well.
It's a 4-hitter.
Yes, 4-hitter.
No balls and 2 strikes.
Ron Santo and I had our tussles. He did well. Nobody did as well as Billy, Whistling Billy. The Whistler.
AJ's 0-2. Was it that he could hit the slider well? Did he hit your slider?
Williams?
Yeah.
Yes. Keep going.
Hit your fastball?
Yeah. Yeah.
He hit your pitch ball?
Slider. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything you threw?
I tried just winding up and not throwing the ball. And I think he doubled off the vines in Wrigley.
Well,
he was that good. I mean,
I like your chances today against his statue outside the ballpark. You might have a chance.
Well, the point was when he came here to coach, when he was a coach with the Cubs, he'd be around the batting cage, and I'd just holler over, Billy, I just want to come over and say hello, unless you got a bat in your hand. And then it's no deal. It ain't going to happen.
1-2.
But we did very well against the Cubs. I mean, we had the thumpers, we had those hitters, and played a lot of high-scoring games in Wrigley Field, and those pitching staffs we had in those years did well because of the offensive support. We pitched well too, but it was a lot more fun when you're getting 5 and 6 and 7 runs a day at Wrigley. And then you're out on the street at 4 o'clock. I mean, what's better?
Barney strikes out. That's not bad. Another 2 strikeout inning for A.J. Burnett. 1-0 Pirates. Great shots of PNC Park as nighttime starts to fall, thanks to aerial coverage brought to you by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Great shots of the North Shore. We've seen these throughout the course of the weekend, thanks to the DirecTV blimp. Spectacular views. Now Dempster facing Neil Walker. Walker is 0 for 1. It'll be Walker, Haig, and Barajas. 5, 6, and 7 in the Pirate order. That's in for a strike. Well, you're talking about Ron Santo and Billy Williams.
2 good ones.
Yeah, the good thing about baseball is people keep track of everything. The bad thing about baseball is people keep track of everything. Billy Williams, a .313 hitter against Steve Blass.
That's all?
That's it. 25 out of 80. 6 doubles, 7 home runs, 14 RBIs.
I know, 14 RBIs. I pitched a lot against the Cubs. That's much better. He's a piece of cake.
It might have been better than you thought.
A lot better than I thought. It's all about perception.
2-1 pitch. And Walker hits this one down the third base side. Cardenas giving it a look, and that ball's going to stay in for him. And Walker is out.
Just want to mention last night, the off night, I had a chance to go down to the Clemente Museum, and very special night for ALS, Lou Gehrig disease. There's going to be a walk September 8th, and we'll give you more information about that as we get closer. But a lot of great people there. Neil and Susan Alexander. Neil has been diagnosed with ALS, and he is just standing so tall and facing all of that entails. And a lot of people, a lot of corporate people that were interested in being involved, and just a great evening. Jim Sadowski, former Pirate, Patty Paytas, Vice President of Public and Community Affairs, Joe Bilodeau, just a lot of great people, and a very emotional evening, but it was special.
Darwin Barney throws that one away, but Haig looking to go to second. He's going to stop. So base hit for Matt Haig. That's his second major league hit. His first one came back on the 8th of April against the Phillies in a pinch hitting role where he drove in a run. But Haig now gets a 1-out single. Bucks have a base runner.
Well, Barney just catches a flyer, no chance to make a play. And I think if Matt had gone initially, had looked back and gone initially, it would have been a comfortable trip to second base. So he shut it down. So Pirates have a 1-out runner at first base. Please mark that on your calendar as you look at the replay again of that flyer. September 8th, Pittsburgh Zoo. Walk for ALS.
Rod Barajas drove in the game's only run so far. Jan fouled off, 0-1.
Lou Gehrig actually slept during the 1927 World Series at that firehouse where the Clemente Museum is. He had a friend on the
someplace too.
Yep, he had a friend that was a fireman there, and he just bunked out. And the Yankees, Murderers Row, when they were in Pittsburgh.
One ball, one strike. Yeah, it's such a great facility, and get to see some tremendous memorabilia and artwork.
Yeah, it's a special place. The city of Pittsburgh should do more with the Clemente Museum. It is a gem in our city. It's an absolute gem.
Barajas belched this one to left field. Soriano makes the catch. Alfonso Soriano with a beauty out there, and a bullet hit by Barajas.
Now that ball was hooking away from Alfonso. He stayed with it and was able to track it down. Good play. Rod hooked it around and thought he had hooked it enough, and we did too, but Soriano comes over and on the run, puts it in the glove. Has it measured the whole time. That lock action in those gloves secured it.
Clint Barnes, the number 8 hitter, batting with 2 outs and a man aboard. Matt Haig at first.
I'm racking my brains. I still got to put Billy Williams on that list. Is it 200 hits?
200 hits. Last 5 Cubs to get 200 hits.
Okay. We know Castro. Okay, I'm compiling my list. I'm going to go with Castro. I'm going to go with Juan Pierre. He just occurred to me. I think Juan Pierre did it. I think you're on the right track with Ryan Sandberg. And how about Bill Buckner and Billy Williams?
If it goes that far back, yeah.
Who knows? Bill Buckner had a big year with the Cubs.
A batting title.
He should be remembered for a lot more than that ground ball. And fans are starting to come around, although not in the Boston area.
Bill Madlock have enough when he was with the Cubs?
He won batting titles with him.
The 3-1 pitch to Clint Barnes.
Yeah, Madlock would be a candidate. I'm going to go with my list of Castro, Pierre, Sandberg, Buckner, and Billy Williams. Just because I hate to leave Billy out of any conversation about Cubs hitting.
Now Haig will be taking off with this Dempster pitch. There he goes. And Barnes in the air to right center. Able to get it is Mather. And the Bucks strand another man. We played 4 full. 1-0 Pirates.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel.com, definitely worth the click. By PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. And by Chevy Cruise, which offers EPA estimated 42 mpg highway. Let's go Bucks!
Well, when you come out of the Fort Pitt Tunnel and you look across and see the stadiums on the North Shore,
The city bursts on you when you come out of there.
Appears. And players will tell you when they're called up for the first time and they come through the Fort Pitt Tunnel, and it just takes the air out of them when they see what's on the other side.
Spectacular.
1-0 Pirates, top of the 5th inning. Coy Hill, the catcher. Then Ryan Dempster, then back to the top of the Cubs order. David DeJesus scheduled to hit third this inning against right-hander A.J. Burnett. Right at Hay. Pickett, nice pick. That's a quick out. One down. Well, our AT&T Mobility trivia question we asked a while ago. We'll see how well Steve has done in answering that tonight. The question is, can you name the last 5 Cubs to collect 200 hits in a season? I'm going to guess you got a few of them, Steve. Castro, Pierre, Sandberg, Buckner, Billy Williams. How about you? Got them all.
That's it. Graduation time in the Berg.
You got them all.
Get bumped up to 2nd grade.
We bow down to you now.
I don't get many.
He did it off the top of his head. That was pretty good. Well, Steve, you contributed to Billy Williams. We've established that.
Didn't have anything to do with the rest of them. He was enough.
So you don't want to know your numbers against Santo?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah. Do we have them?
I do have them. 0-2 to Dempster. Down to Haig. Walks it. Toss to Burnett. 2 down. Haig staying with it.
Yep, keep the ball in front of you, especially when a pitcher hits it. He's not going to be barreling down that first baseline as quickly as most position players. In between hop, keep the big body. The pitcher gets over there in time like he should, and you get it done.
Well, with 2 outs,
and now
it'll be DeJesus.
Yeah, and AJ's getting a little more efficient, although it's steadily building up the pitch count, but he has been much better since the 3rd inning. He's retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row.
I think Santo hit you better than Williams did.
Well, what do you got?
29 out of 67, 433 average against you.
433?
Yep.
Well, that's a misprint.
6 doubles, 1 triple, 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in.
Yeah. Okay, now let's look at the other side of the coin. I think 16-9 against the Cubs career-wise, something like that. Come on, we got to get that one too. We got to get that career win-loss because that's the big number.
You had success against him. These are just 2 guys that pitch you a little bit.
Ernie Banks was still hanging around, kind of winding down a little bit. Get the ball over the ivy on a pretty regular basis.
Right on the corner, just caught the edge for strike 2 to DeJesus.
Yeah, let's check it out. Let's do a little umpiring. The backdoor slider that stayed outside the building.
A 1-ball, 2-strike pitch coming to DeJesus. And he looks at it in the dirt. A.J. Burnett, 2-2. Over his last 3 starts here at home, a 157 earned run average. That's a foul ball down the left side.
Pretty good play. Knocking that ball down. happy Pirate fan. Has Bucko hat on. He's got Major League Baseball.
Put that in storage.
Well, that'll be shown all over the place tomorrow before it goes into storage. Might be a cell phone call involved there.
That's in the far end of the Cubs dugout. Foul ball. Yeah, put that in the purse. Keep it safe. Or is she looking for the cell phone? No, something to wrap it up in. You're going to get some foul ball action down there in those seats.
Yep.
Down the line on the railing. Great way to see a ball game. You are close. Count is now full. A.J. Burnett. Oh, a bunch of pitches out there tonight. It's Starlin Castro on deck. He'd prefer to see him in the 6th.
This would be pitch number 85.
And he walked him, and that ends a string of 8 straight set down by Burnett. 2-out walk, and that'll bring up Castro.
First free pass issued by A.J. Number. He is scheduled to lead off the bottom of the 5th inning. I don't think there's any immediate concern at this point, although the numbers are involved.
Jesus at first. Reached base for the 2nd time tonight. Castro takes low and away, ball 1. Infield single for Castro, and then tagged out on a little number hit in front of the plate. He didn't run. He didn't think it was fair, but Barajas picked the ball up and tagged him out for the first out of the 3rd inning. Starlin Castro awaits the 1-0. That's outside. De Jesus took a big lead early.
Thinking about going. There have been some starts and stops and hesitations after an initial break. You know, you never like to speculate or project how long a pitcher is going to be out there, but the way that AJ is going, and he's putting zeros up, but in this day and age of the pitch count, maybe you're looking at 6 innings now. He's going to lead off, scheduled to lead off the bottom of the 5th. You know, you're certainly going to let him go out there again for the 6th unless this gets crazy with 2 outs here. But then, well, then it becomes an issue for Clint Hurdle and Ray Searage. But one of the stories in the American League, Adam Dunn homering again. That's what, 15 for him or 16? I can't tell. It's a bunch. Get that number for you in a minute. Number 15. Early nominee for comeback player of the year.
He's trailing Josh Hamilton now by 3 home runs. Hamilton the leader in the American League with 18. Pirates have had just a taste of American League play with the 3 games in Detroit over the weekend, and
more to come.
More to come. Plenty more to come, actually. 2-1. And this one is lifted into shallow left center field. It'll get down for a hit. Another multi-hit game for Starlin Castro. Now runners at 1st and 3rd with 2 down.
Just into no man's land, short left center field.
It's the 19th multi-hit game for Castro. He's into a 2nd place tie in the National League.
Doesn't get a lot of it, but well placed. And De Jesus has the play in front of him, and I thought maybe there might be a throw to 3rd base, but that didn't happen. And now Ray Searage wants to talk to A.J. Burnett, and the phone's going to ring in the Pirate bullpen. In fact, it already has.
Tony Watson will get the call.
Once again in the 5th inning, no wiggle room. It's 1-0. I mean, you like to have these kind of situations where, you know, you're wondering if you guys running down a little bit out there on the mound, that it's 6-0 instead of 1-0. But during this period, that's the way life is.
PNC Park on a warm Friday night, Memorial Day weekend beginning.
Blue and the green.
Right over the Allegheny River. Now double barrel action as Jared Hughes gets up and joins Tony Watson.
I'm just wondering if you're going to need and require another airtight performance out of the bullpen.
Mather is 1 for 2. There goes Castro taking off for second. He'll walk there without any kind of defensive interest, but it will be scored a stolen base. That'll be his 13th. That was a freebie.
Yep. And now we're looking at the need for a huge third out.
Gets a strike in on him, 1-1. Mather, a .250 hitter with runners in scoring position. This is the 17th at bat this year with this situation. One ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 2 out for the Cubs. AJ gets ahead.
Still on that 92, 93 mile an hour range with the fastball.
What do you come back with here?
A real good pitch in a real good location.
Like real estate.
Location.
So the 1-2 coming up to the center fielder Mather. Down to Alvarez. Nice play. Throws to first. He cut out.
Wow. Way to pick it, Pedro Pickett.
Pedro Alvarez flashing some leather around. Outstanding play with 2 on and 2 out. And that makes him happy. Jay Burnett fielded. Bucks on top by a run. A.J. Burnett pops one up to left field on the first pitch he sees in the Bucks half of the 5th. 1 swing and 1 down. So quick out for Burnett. He hasn't had a hit since the 20th of June 2009 when he was with the Yankees in an interleague game against his former team, the Marlins. It's been a while since A.J.'s dropped one in safely.
Yeah, we say first one. Haven't had one since the 8th grade picnic. But that's all right. He's chunking real good. 5 scoreless innings.
He's made good contact tonight.
Yep. As contact goes.
Jose's amigos. I want to see him get a hit. Jose is 0 for 2. Reached on an error last time up in the 3rd.
Yeah, if we get a chance, want to watch Ryan Dempster, because he's got that unique wiggle of the glove when he starts his windup. There you see it right there. We were talking earlier as Jose takes that ball in for a strike. That's primarily way back when he did that so he wouldn't give away a grip and tip his pitches. If you asked him about that right now, he probably would say he's been doing it so long. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He probably doesn't give it a thought, not remotely aware of it. But that's his style, and he does it every time.
Right into the glove of LaHare. Jose hit it well, and all he can do is go back to the bat rack. Well, he preloads that split-fingered grip. He's been doing it, and he used to tip it off because he would make the move, but now he just does it all the time.
So you can't really get any feel how he changes the grip or does the grip or holds it or stays with the grip he started with. And most pitchers, when they start, they will get a grip that they can move from. In other words, if you want to throw a fastball, you're going to let's take the pitch there. You're going to, let's see, if the toughest grip is your breaking ball, you're going to start with that because you can go adjust to the fastball grip easier. It's whichever one you can go to. You start with the opposite. If you can follow.
A 10-game hitting streak for Josh Harrison. That's a career high. He extends it. And he's now 1 for 3 with a 2-out base hit.
And the over/under now for throws to first base is 3. But take a look at this 2-out single by Josh. Nicely done into left field. And I would be kind of surprised if Josh didn't give it a shot. Successful last time.
Yeah, he stole second rather easily in the 3rd inning for his first steal of the season. Now Andrew McCutchen at the plate, 0 for 2. Catches fly to center and struck out swinging. And the infield shifted with Barney playing right up the middle.
First one.
You say it was 3?
Over/under's 3. Yeah, I'm not going to bet it. It's too tough.
Andrew McCutchen with a strike on him now. This is the 2,369th time the Cubs and the Pirates have played since their first meeting on May 6th, 1887. Big secondary lead for Harrison, seeing how far he could get out.
Are you sure that's 433 with Santo?
I'm getting it from a reliable source. He was checked and double checked.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more that's accurate. It's just. Ooh. I'm going to turn your notepad over so I don't have to look at that.
See your record.
100 points better than Billy Williams. Come on. Maybe 4 in that 4-hitter. Maybe that's the only 4 that Billy ever got.
I remember before Ron passed away, the fall before he passed away, I sat with him in the dugout in third base side of Wrigley Field. We did an interview for the radio pregame, and then we sat and talked for about 20 minutes. Some about you. And I said, how'd you hit Steve? He said, I used to get him okay.
Yeah.
433 is okay.
Yeah, it is. I've got a picture at home. Ron and I posing at Wrigley Field. And he had a big black eye, and he had just, one of the few times he had a 29-game hitting streak or something like that. I got him out, so that was my shining moment as opposed to the 433.
There's your 3rd time over.
Okay.
Well, Dempster hearing about it, as you will when you're the pitcher on the road. One and 1 to McCutchen. 1-0 Pirate lead. Bottom of the 5th. There goes Harrison. Pitch outside for a ball to throw down. Not close. And Harrison with his second swipe.
Yeah, and you know that a play is not going to be close when either the shortstop or in this case the second baseman just gives up the bag and comes in to get the ball. Then you know it's over. There's no contest. There goes Harrison. Watch where Barney is. He's nowhere near the base. He knows it's not going to happen defensively for them. Yeah, when they give up the bag, you got it. Well, let's give AJ a little breathing room here.
3-1. And Alvarez on deck. AJ Burnett sitting on a 1-0 lead. Close ball game. Pirates hoping to give him a little bit of insurance. Pull ahead of the Cubbies here.
What are we on pace for? Like 116 one-run games? You sure?
Looks like it. 20 of them now. Now the count full.
And the previous at bat, Andrew against Dempster, he got him on an off-speed pitch. Just got to the 2-strike mark with that delivery.
Here comes the payoff from Dempster. And he walked McCutchen. Free pass with 2 outs. That'll bring Pedro back to the plate.
First walk for Ryan Dempster. Nothing happening in either bullpen now, but we're not too far away from that all changing. And one or the other or both. It's going to be happening sooner than later. Dale Swaim is aware of how the game is played in terms of using pitching staffs now, as is Clint Hurdle.
Pedro is 1 for 2. Ball, no strikes to Alvarez.
Little dance going on with Castro and Josh Harrison, and now Coy Hill wants to talk to Ryan Dempster possibly about that. There are times where a pitcher will give too much concentration to the runner. Catcher will recognize that and talk to him, hey, you got a priority here at home plate, you got 2 outs. And Dempster from Gibbons, British Columbia.
Makes his home in Chicago now. Used to live in the suburbs of Denver, Morrison, Colorado.
Now he's digging himself in a hole.
2-0 here. Pedro's got to see it right in the window, doesn't he?
Got to look for something he can drive. That's one of the keys to good hitting too, is that he might see a strike here, but it might not be a hittable strike. There are hittable strikes and then strikes you have no chance with.
Alvarez lets it go for a 2-1 count.
Let's take a look and see if it was a hittable pitch. UPMC Sports Medicine. Yeah, that's both parties would like to have that back. Dempster didn't want to throw it there, and Pedro would like to have a whack at it. That's a pitch you can drive, especially in a hitter's count where you can afford to just take a guess, look for a location and a pitch. And now a lot of people here in this ballpark did not think that was a strike.
Well,
but Hunter Wendelstedt did.
That was outside.
So 25 to 30,000 fans here were on the money there.
There's the 2-2.
Okay, start up the Calliope.
Runner at second is Harrison. And the runner at first is McCutchen. They will run with this pitch. Get a head start.
Remember the music they used to have on the merry-go-round? Doot, 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 doot. Here they go.
They're off.
They probably got a rapper now singing.
Probably so, yeah.
And it goes faster.
Harrison getting his lead. McCutchen stepping up. Sale Fire LaPierre playing behind him with 2 outs.
Wow, look at that light standard move.
payoff will wait. As the inside move forces Harrison back to the bag. Dempster dragging out the drama.
It's not 25 to 30,000. It's 30,000 plus in the ballpark tonight. They're wanting to see a gap shot. They want to see our center fielder run.
Foul ball. They'll have to reset everybody. Harrison back to second. McCutchen back to first. Harrison got such a good jump. He was practically at third base by the time Pedro swung. Well, Josh has done a nice job. He's worked his way from a bench player out of spring training, making the club, to now working his way into regular duty. The payoff pitch from Ryan Dempster. This one's fouled back. Harrison getting a workout.
And Dempster's evening is shortening.
Dempster is winless in his last 16 starts, dating back to the 16th of August of last season.
8-12 against the Pirates. Career start number 25 against the Bucks. A lot of video on his action.
And that's right in front of the plate. A swinging bunt. Bad luck for Alvarez. Didn't get it done. Pirates strand 2. 1-0 as we head to the 6th inning at PNC Park.
Wow, look, just you don't say anything. It's just too pretty. You can talk about. Don't have to talk about that.
1-0 Pirate lead. A.J. Burnett pitching to Brian LaHare to start the 6th. Well, what year did you move to Pittsburgh? 19.
Full-time 72, but was coming here for the baseball season since '64. Been in the same house for now 40 years, 40th anniversary house out in the South Hills. Back in the day, all the professional athletes were in the South Hills. There was no, I don't think there's any 79, let alone 279. You had to go around some things to get to 79.
Well, that's considering how long you've lived here. You still marvel at views of the city.
We don't often get the blimp view and those colors. It's just spectacular. You really don't need to say anything. Reinforces the things that we know.
Talk Talking about going the way back machine. 1935. Babe Ruth hit 3 home runs against the Pirates.
Yep.
Final 3 he'd ever hit. Just one of the many moments, or in that case 3 moments. Whenever he hit one, everybody remembered it. Foul back in the count, 3-2. 714 of them in his career.
There are a lot of people who will have very valid arguments who they think is the best baseball player ever. I vote for the Babe. All the things he did, the pitching he did, the slugging percentage. Just
7-12, 7-13, 7-14 hit at Forbes Field. A ground ball to second base to Neil Walker. He throws out Brian Maher. Dan Potash is standing by with an eyewitness of those 3 home runs.
wow.
That's right, guys. This is 88-year-old Paul McElwain, who was 11 back in 1935. And tell me about, I guess, this day 77 years ago when your dad told you you were going to Forbes Field to see Babe Ruth play baseball.
Right.
How exciting was that?
Well, I was a baseball fan, and I just enjoyed baseball. And when he said I was going to see Babe Ruth, or going into the Pirates, and I knew Babe Ruth was there that day, I was really excited.
Now, we've heard all kinds of stories that one of the 3 home runs he hit went at least 600 feet. Can you say that that was definitely true?
Yes, that was the third one that he hit, and I think it cleared the roof.
Now, your son Ken also told me that you have an unbelievable memory. Can you name the starting infield on that day?
The starting infield for that day was Gus Schur at first base. Pep Young was playing second base. Archie Vaughn was at shortstop. Tommy Thevenot filled in for Pie Traynor that day. And the outfield was Woody Jensen in left, Lloyd Wainer, and Paul Wainer, and Earl Grace was the catcher.
Wow.
I would think then that the memory of all 3 home runs still very vivid in your mind. So when you found out that Babe was done, how cool was it then that you knew that you had seen the final home run that he would ever hit?
Back then it didn't set in, but later on in life it set in to me that I got to see Babe Ruth hit his last 3 home runs. It was something that I'll always remember. I'm 88, but maybe I don't have too long to remember.
Real quickly, before I let you go, you were at Babe Ruth's final game, or the game in which he hit his final home run. When Bill Mazeroski hit the home run to beat the Yankees in 1960, you were where?
I was at a bar, the not the Elton Hotel, but the McDowell's Hotel in Elwood City, and Tom Reese was the bartender, and I had just quit work at George K. Garrett Company, and I was standing there drinking beer when Mazeroski hit the home run.
2 pretty good spots to be in, huh?
2 good spots.
Hey, thank you so very much. I also know that you're a veteran, so please enjoy Memorial Day week.
I hope to. I'd like to go back up Memorial Day weekend. I usually go up to the old Sampson Naval Base in Waterloo and Geneva, New York, and I'm trying to talk my wife into it. I think she's going to give in.
I think she'll get in too, Paul. Thanks for your time.
Right, thank you.
Guys, it's all yours.
All right, Paul McElwain.
Way to go.
How about that memory? Got big poison, a little poison, 2/3 of the outfield. He's got them all. Archie Vaughn. Here was the paper. Of course, Jesse Owens had a big day, and so did the Michigan Wolverines in track. But this was
when he had the Pittsburgh Press, too.
Yeah. Well, it's a day in history.
Great stuff.
Well, back to the present day. The base hit by Soriano and the walk to Cardenas have chased A.J. Burnett from his start here in the 6th inning with 1 out. A.J. went over the 2,000 inning mark in his career after he completed the 2nd tonight. He leaves to a nice hand. 1 out, 2 on. Pirates a 1-0 lead at PNC Park. Here comes Jared Hughes. And 1 out for the Cubs in the top of the 6th inning. They're putting together a little bit of a threat. A.J. Burnett takes a seat after 5 1/3 innings, and young right-hander Jared Hughes comes on to take over his spot. Hughes has done a good job in some high leverage situations. He will take the ball in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. He doesn't care.
He's had good numbers posted so far his rookie year. He's still a rookie. In fact, his ERA is best among all major league rookies. Hopes to keep that all intact.
So AJ's done. All he can do is watch right now. He's responsible for the 2 men on base. Pitched by Hughes is a fastball in there at 93.
So a lot of things could happen decision-wise for A.J. Burnett. Could win it, no decision, could lose it. To be determined.
Hughes got his first major league win Monday night against the Mets. Pitched a scoreless 8th inning and became the pitcher of record. Pirates broke a 4-4 tie in the bottom of the 8th. They'd go on and win that ball game. 5-4. Tag put down by Walker. Just slapped it down on Soriano, but he got his hand in.
Well, we get a close-up of Mr. Barney again. You might think, well, we're going to look at the pickoff attempt, and he gets in there. That's the AGH cam. We see the call. But Barney facially might think a little bit about Derek Jeter. Take a look.
Young Jeter, yeah.
But
2 strikes now to Barney. Hughes was recalled on the 1st of May and has made 10 appearances since. Been charged with just 1 earned run in 13 innings pitched. It's an ERA of 0.69. Sinker ball guy, loves the sinker. That's why you'll see a lot of ground balls hit when he's out there. One ball down to 3rd, foul.
we're so intent on that Babe Ruth story. You got to fill me in here. Soriano gets the base hit, and then Cardenas also.
He walked.
He walked. Okay, thank you.
Anything else we can get for you?
Yeah, just a tall, cool one. Yeah. Summertime.
Summertime's here. Memorial Day weekend. He was ready for the 1-2. Evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He was a Southern California kid. Says when growing up in his day and age, you have to declare a sport. You got to pick one. He wanted to play basketball as well as baseball, but it's far too competitive. You know, very
certainly
rare.
had to be eligible for the hoops.
Yeah, well, he goes 6'7", and he made the right choice. He's now a major league pitcher, right? But you know, you don't see the 3-sport athlete much anymore. Used to be the way,
especially in California where they specialize. Now, he's born in Connecticut. If he stayed there, he would have had some choices.
He would have
probably played them all.
In your home state, you played hoop too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Take a look at these guys.
We're talking about the pen. They've been airtight.
Lincoln 053, Cruz 108, Hughes 119. His 119 ERA is the highest in the major leagues among rookie relievers. Or the best, lowest ERA.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Highest ranking, lowest ERA.
There you go.
That's not 2-2.
Now he has stirred up the soup.
Well, if he can make his pitch here and get out of this. On deck behind Barney is Coy Hill.
You better not forget about Soriano at second base. And Neil Walker's bird dogging him a little bit. Now going to have another attempt. Another safe call. He just had that body language like he might have been thinking about going should Hughes get real careless and just give all his concentration to the batter, which would let him get away from second base cleanly.
Payoff pitch from Jared Hughes to Darwin Barney. Runners go, and a ground ball toward third. Interfered. There's an out. And a dead ball, says third base umpire Bob Davidson.
Shut everything down. He ran into Pedro Alvarez. Simple as that.
So break for the Pirates there.
They were going to get one out, but they were going to wind up probably with runners on second and third. Easy call. You must allow the defensive player to have the opportunity to make a play on the ball. Here's the chop. Yeah, now if Soriano goes behind him, they wind up with runners on second and third. There's Alfonso. He's looking in. And then by the time he looks up, I don't know what he's thinking about. That might apply to Dale Swain's reaction.
Five unassisted on the putout. Putout gets credited to Alvarez there. So 2 on and 2 out for Coy Hill. Switch hitter batting lefty against the righty Jared Hughes. Cardenas at second base. Barney at first. And the pitch to Hill. Missed low, 2-0.
Jared, you dug a hole for yourself against Barney and you got out of it. You have to try that again. You can't do it forever.
Towards second. Walker throws him out. And Jared Hughes keeps him off the board once again. That's 10 straight scoreless appearances for Hughes. Rod Barajas with 2 outs and Alvarez at second base. Puts one to right. The Jesus throw to the plate. Not in time. Pedro just gets the hand in there. Right there. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Great look into the bullpen now as We get our aerial coverage tonight from DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. What a view they've got up there in the cockpit.
Would you like to be riding in that thing right now in the dark?
Yeah, you look down. Look at the view.
In the dark?
Are you afraid of the dark?
Up there I am. I love looking at their shots. So. The contrast. Midnight at the Oasis.
Neil Walker is 0 for 2 tonight.
So we talked to you about the possibilities for AJ. The loss possibilities eliminated. Still could be a no decision. Could be a W. So let's add on and increase the percentages of that happening.
Yep, can't lose it now.
That was when the starting pitcher who goes out after 6 will start pacing, or he'll sit in the dugout or sit in the clubhouse. Pace back and forth between.
Jason Grilli starting to loosen up.
So in these situations, you might possibly think about a Grilli Cruz hand-to-hand situation. Progress him down, right? That's kind of the script, but all those things could change. You know, that could work out entirely different.
Well, it's not set in stone that Grilli's going to pitch the 8th inning or the 7th inning. It depends on who they want him to face, and in this case, in the 7th, Dempster's spot leads off, so you think a pinch hitter there, and then you got DeJesus, and then Castro hitting 3rd.
Well, right now, I would like Jason Grilli facing anybody.
Yeah. I think they're probably more worried about Castro than anybody in the Cub lineup.
Looks like he's getting serious.
Jared Hughes, another good outing, 2/3 of an inning. Walker fouls it off. Neil's had good numbers against the Cubs so far. 0 for 2 tonight, but good numbers in his first 25 games played in his career against Chicago. .344 the average. He's got 2 home runs, one of them at PNC Park on the 5th of May. The other against Max Scherzer on Sunday in Detroit against the Tigers. And Walker down looking.
Strikeout number 3 for Dempster. That's perfect. That's a pitcher's pitch. Can't do much about it.
Dempster's 9th season with the Cubs, his 15th as a big league pitcher. He's had double-digit wins in each of the last 4 seasons. 7 times overall he's done it. Matt Haig, a little slow roller past the mound. Barney shovels it on to LaHare for the out.
Nice play.
2 gone for the Bucks in the bottom of the 6th.
You could see all kind of possibilities because he's got to shovel the ball. He doesn't have time for a transfer from glove to hand. Sometimes that can stay in the glove. It can go up over the top of the first baseman. You can hold it in the glove too long, too short. The key is to, the minute you feel the ball is completely open the glove, so it doesn't stick in the glove and you don't get messed up. Open, try to give him a wide open glove and just shovel out the middle of your hand, out the middle of the pocket of the glove. So you do 2 or 3 things perfectly, you get the out. And the good infielders make it look easy.
Barajas is 1 for 2.
Got the shift, the Barajas shift on. Barney, the second baseman, over on the shortstop side of second.
Barajas goes to right field. That ball gets down, and
that'll teach him.
Barajas
Don't go anywhere, Rod.
not worried about the shift. 2-out single for Rod. He's 2 for 3. Continues his hot hitting here in the month of May.
shift on his transmission. Just go the opposite way.
Well, we've seen it a few times tonight where the Cubs have had 3 on the left. And Dale Swain may have brought that with him from Milwaukee, where they did that a lot at the beginning of the year last year. Dale was hitting coach over there. They got away from it somewhat. I mean, it was a shift to every hitter practically at the beginning of the season for the Brewers in 2011, but sort of evened itself out after a while. Barnes reached on an error in the second inning, flied to center in the fourth. Barnes with a pair of home runs on the season. His last one was against his former team, the Rockies, here at PNC Park on the 24th of April. Rips this one into left field for a base hit. The Barnes bat over the last handful of games starting to come alive. We saw Garrett Jones on deck, but he will head back to the dugout. And now Casey McGee will stand in. And you'd figure, well, why wouldn't you want a left-handed hitter here? Well, if you knew about McGee's numbers against Dempster, you'd say, I'd rather have Casey McGee. McGee hitting .370 against Dempster, 10 out of 27 with a home run. And Jones, 3 for 23 against Dempster. So the matchup is there favoring the right-handed hitter in this situation.
And this ball game currently belongs to Ryan Dempster. Nothing happening in the Cubs bullpen.
Well, we'll see if McGee can get something going. Slumping lately. McGee hitting .186, but has had good success against Dempster in the past. And Jones will get an opportunity a little later. With Matt Haig here today, Clint Hurdle said that the pause button is going to be pressed on McGee and Jones at first base for a short time. Going to give McGee a chance to get some regular at-bats out there. And a ground ball to short. First ball swinging. That kills the Pirate threat. So that was short, but not sweet. 1-0 Pirates headed to the 7th inning. Home Depot doing more on defense. We'll play the game here. How about Pedro Alvarez taking a base hit away with 2-man scoring position, ending the inning. Super job by Alvarez in the hole. Comes up and fires a strike to Matt Haig at first base, and A.J. Burnett liked it. Home Depot doing more on defense. Changes as McGee will stay in. He'll bat in the 9th spot. So the double switch will have Grilli and Hague's spot. 6th in the order. And Grilli now pitching the 7th inning. He'll face 9, 1, and 2.
Well, you got to remember about that innings number 17. Well, you can pop in the number 30 strikeouts in those 17 innings. 17 innings, 30 strikeouts. That's pretty strong.
Well, Dempster will look for himself here.
Why not? He's pitching a fine ball game. But his Cubbies continue to struggle, as do the Pirates offensively. We got ourselves yet another tight ball game. This time the 1-0 variety. Looks like Jason Grilli has found a home and has found himself here as he continues to really throw the ball well for the Pirates.
Clint Hurdle managed him in Colorado. One of a number of stops on the Grilli tour, and he said that by far this is the best Jason Grilli has pitched, at least in front of his eyes.
Yep, well, every once in a while you catch a pitcher at the right point of his career when he figures it out, or feels right, or recovers, gets healthy all of a sudden. Timing.
Well, Grilli's established a club record for a relief pitcher, striking out at least one batter in each of his first 18 games of the season. Previous record for a Pirate reliever to start a season was Pete Schurik. And now he's tied him. Actually, he's gone on to 19. I beg your pardon. Schurik did it in 13 appearances, not 19, but now 19 with striking out at least one batter.
He's breaking his own record.
Yeah, the longest streak in the major leagues right now belongs to the Reds. Aroldis Chapman. He's done it 20 straight. And Cleveland's Vinny Pastano had a streak snapped of 21 on Thursday. So the record for relief appearances with a strikeout within one season is 19. Yeah, so he tied Octavio Dotel, 2010. There was a tied record in there. De Jesus fouls this one off. De Jesus has reached base safely twice tonight, walked once, got a base hit. He'll fly out to right field to start the game. 1 for 2. 285 the average for De Jesus. And the velocity for Grilli too, Steve, seems to be higher. 94. It was regularly 94, 95.
Yeah, and it's kind of a slingshot release. It's like lever action. Front back-loaded fastball.
Speed pitch in for a strike. Where the Pirates get Grilli? Well, last season they rescued him from the Phillies organization, where he was given an opportunity to perform in AAA. The Phillies brought him in, and there was a clause in his deal that said if a major league club wanted to pick you up and put you on their big league roster, the Phillies would let him go, and that's what the Pirates wanted to do.
Thank you.
Strike 3 called. Got him on the outside corner.
Well, yes, they said he got him, and if he said he got him, they got him. Let's take a look at this strikeout. That kind of backdoor slider kind of got around to the side of the house. I don't know if it got as far as the back door, but Hunter Wendelstedt said it did, and when Hunter says it did, as did his dad, Harry Wendelstedt, great National League umpire. And Hunter has followed in his footsteps.
Starlin Castro takes strike 1. Castro with his 19th multi-hit game of the season is 2 for 3. He also has a stolen base tonight. Nothing Pirates here in the top of the 7th. Strike 2 call. Really struck out Dempster, struck out De Jesus, and he's working on Castro.
So does this extend this little string he's got going? Last 5 batters, 3 on Wednesday.
Yeah, 3 in a row on Wednesday. Struck out the side in his last outing.
Keep on trucking.
See if he can do it twice in a row here. Just missed. Tried that low outside corner.
That was close.
One and 2.
What's he want here? What's that fastball out away?
Got him. So 2 straight appearances for Grilli. One Wednesday against the Mets and one here tonight against the Cubs, and he has struck out the side in each of those 2 appearances. 6 straight strikeouts for Grilli. We're at the stretch, middle of the 7th, 1-0 Pirates.
You now to stand. Follow the bouncing Eden Park Smiley Cookie and join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Leads off against the starter Ryan Dempster. Each team 6 hits. Pirates with a run, a 2nd inning run on an RBI single with 2 outs by Rod Barajas, scoring Pedro Alvarez, who had led that inning off with a base hit. And to Tabata to deep short. Castro got him.
That was a heck of a play by a guy who is establishing himself as a heck of a ball player. Starlin Castro, deep in the hole, long throw against a guy who runs well. There it is. Takes it, throws from the grass. Close play at first. Cubs get the out.
One out quickly. Now Josh Harrison, the batter. 10-game hitting streak for Josh after his single in the 5th inning. Oh, 1. That's outside.
Let's get Josh on the base. Let him steal another base and see if we can manufacture a 2nd run. Then the struggle. The old theory, if you're not hitting much, you got to pitch better. That theory is very much in play tonight.
There's the 1-2 coming. And he struck him out. Foul tip into the glove. Dan Potash standing by with a very special guest.
All right, guys, thank you very much. In the Hall of Fame Club with former Pirate Dave Cash. Good to be back in town saying hello to some, well, actually, I was going to say a couple fans. You've had a pretty long line here waiting for autographs.
Yeah, I had quite a few people here. And great to be back in town. Pirates is the place where I got started, and we won a championship here.
Now, you were just in town last year, if I'm correct, for a celebration of the 40th anniversary of the '71 World Series team.
Right, and you know, getting together with those guys are always something special.
Now, I would think that this party will go on for quite a while as long as the fans keep coming. And they're still coming. Lots of stuff, though, that they're bringing for you to sign.
Oh, I've seen stuff from all over the place. I mean, I saw some pictures that I've never seen before, and it's kind of exciting. You know, it makes you really feel good that the fans still remember.
Hey, Dave, thanks so much for your time.
Any day.
Guys?
All right, Dave Cash.
Dave Cash, you know, his initials are DC, but Willie Stargell always called him AC, always cool. And you talk about filling some big shoes. There's a swing and miss by Andrew, and that takes care of that. Dave Cash followed Bill Mazeroski and did a great job.
We go to the 8th. That one run still standing up and still signing is Dave Cash.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deal on Tempur-Pedic mattresses, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
It is a 1-0 ball game on Friday of Memorial Day weekend. Pirates in front. And some changes on the field right now as Gorkas Hernandez has taken over in left field for the Pirates. Jose Tabata moves from left field to right field. And Juan Cruz takes over for Grilli. In fact, Grilli's strikeout string is actually 7 straight, going back to the 19th in Detroit when he got Alex Avila. That was the first of 7 straight strikeouts for Grilli. He struck out the side again here tonight.
Juan Cruz, basically 17 innings. He's only given up 2 earned runs in the RA of 108. And he was put in charge of protecting this 1-0 lead. The Pirates looking for 6 outs. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. They're looking for 3 outs from Mr. Cruz. Mr. Grilli was fabulous, as he has been, as Tim pointed out. Few outings.
Number 3 hitter in the order, Joe Mather. 3, 4, and 5 to face Cruz. Pirates protect against the 2-base hit with Pedro Alvarez guarding the line at third. Alvarez just a couple of feet off that line.
Really now with 20 innings, 33 strikeouts.
How about that work by Grilli? I mean, this guy is
whitewash.
He's reborn.
Yep, caught him at the right time.
Remember down in Atlanta one night, a big game. Well, they're all big, but it was a big situation. He struck out the side. Close game against the Braves. Did it against the Mets Wednesday. Did it here tonight against the Cubs in a 1-0 ball game. takes low and away, 2-1.
See Jason's dad down in spring training several times. Gets a chance to go down and see his son work.
Cruz is on now, and the game has been handed off to the right-hander.
From a 29,914 last attendance. Great count. Looking for outs, one at a time.
Big crowd tonight. Big crowd expected tomorrow, too. 2-1. Count even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cruz got tagged with the loss Tuesday night. His first loss was against the Mets. His first loss since the 18th of July 2009, Steve, when he was a member of the Royals against Tampa Bay. It had been almost 3 seasons since he'd taken a loss. To the right side, a base hit, leadoff single, and the Cubs now with a tying run aboard. See what else is happening around the rest of the National League as we peek at the Hyundai out-of-town scoreboard. Top of the 8th inning, Marlins ahead of San Francisco. Mets in front of the Padres, looking to close that one out. Colorado on the road at Cincinnati, 5-3. Washington involved in another 1-run game. They're in the 7th with Atlanta. And St. Louis has pulled in front of Philadelphia. Brewers in Arizona just underway. And the Dodgers and Astros still to come.
Be curious to see what the line is for Lincecum, as it didn't go well for the 49ers, the Giants ace. I wonder if that concern is mounting. Former Cy Young Award winner.
1 on, nobody out for Brian LaHair.
Need the ground ball.
And you could get it with Cruz. Cruz started the season with 11 straight scoreless innings in his first 12 games. He's got 6 career saves in the big leagues. That's obviously not a save situation, but 3 of them have come this season with the Pirates.
This former Cub, Juan Cruz.
Started with the Cubs in 1999. Right on the corner, strike 2. A 1-2 to LaHair, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of ground outs to second. Could use a ground ball to second right now. Middle infield at double play depth. The pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out.
94-mile-an-hour fastball. The arm is still live for Juan Cruz. Good finish on that heat. Only good finish, but out on the outside part of the plate, maybe off the plate a little bit. Hard pitch to take, but hard pitch to swing at too, because you're probably not going to do too much with it. So, we'll go 1.
Now with 1 out and 1 on, Alfonso Soriano, the hitter, and a base hit in the 6th. He's also struck out twice tonight. Soriano against Juan Cruz. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. And again, if you're Alvarez, you get a guard against the 2-base hit. He moves back close to the line behind the bag at third.
And no doubles. By the way, the Lincecum line, 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs given up by Tim. 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, a couple of home runs. Tim Lincecum for the Giants.
Oh, they got him at first.
And that's the third of those kind of ventures off first base. Like there's a doubt after 2 or 3 steps, and this time the Pirates are able to react in time and get the out. That's huge. You're just kind of getting off there and kind of dancing. If you're going to make that commitment, go early. But you're in kind of no man's land when you're 4 or 5 steps off the bag. That is huge.
That helps out.
Well,
quite a bit.
And you talk about the Cubs' miseries. Those kind of things are, well, they can be fatal. They don't have to be fatal, but they're never fun. They're never good.
Driven out of play down the right side. Well, Dale Swaim can't be happy with the base running there. Well, the Cubs have stranded 8 men. They've had traffic on the bases. They've been unable to get anybody in.
Well,
and the struggles continue.
You got rid of the Mets team that did all kind of good things in 2-out situations, but the Pirates have gotten a lot of big 2-out outs.
Only 4 runs scored over the last 54 2/3 innings for the Cubs. That is a big ouch. And this one to center field.
Now people will say, oh boy, if he didn't get picked off, they'd have runners at first and second, but you have no way of knowing if Soriano would have got the same pitch, got the same hit. The chances are probably wouldn't have played out this way, but here he is at first base with 2 outs.
So Soriano will be replaced at first base by Tony Campana, who might be the fastest man in the room.
So we're
including
saying
Andrew McCutcheon.
They're saying he might be going right away.
This guy can fly, flat out fly.
Right out there to steal a base.
He's got 12 of them.
Substantial lead. You got to throw over there. No?
Big secondary lead and a strike call to Cardenas. Adrian Cardenas, the third baseman tonight, has not had much luck. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Campana has been caught only twice.
And maybe that was just a look to measure Cruz, because the initial lead is substantial, and now it's crept out to more. Yeah, I mean, you gotta let him know you're out there. And Juan did that.
Pirates protecting a 1-0 lead late in the ball game. Cubs a base runner with 2 outs. There goes Campana. Barajas throw down there. Oh, called him safe. Looked like he got him.
The Pirates pitched out. The throw was right on the money. Barnes discussing it with Jerry Lane. Didn't get a great jump with the speed. Thought he got him on the arm going by. See, Barajas goes out for the pitch out. No, he might have been behind. He was behind that left hand arm. Jerry Lane right on the call.
So that will put the tying run in scoring position.
The swipe came, I think, just a little bit beyond the elbow. Or I don't know if the swipe actually got him.
Might have grazed one of the fingers on the batting glove.
But even if he got him, I think the hand was ahead of the tag.
Now he's trying for third base and a ground ball to second.
Keep running.
Walker throws on to first, and the Cubs will leave another man on. A scoreless inning of work for Juan Cruz. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, 1-0. He went down to check on his veteran shortstop. Wasn't too happy about something. Talking about the tag, perhaps. The sweep tag that went past Tony Campano, and he stole second base, and the tying run was put in scoring position. That was between innings. Pedro Alvarez leads off the Pirate eighth against Ryan Dempster, who's gone the route so far. Nothing in 1-2 Alvarez, who's 1 for 3 tonight.
Dempster has just thrown his 100th pitch. That is 101.
Let's look at the tag again on Campana with a head first slide. See where he catches it.
He might have missed him completely going across the back.
You talk about if possible, it's a bang bang situation, you just leave the tag down instead of trying to sweep him.
Of course, I thought the hand was ahead, though.
Looked like it.
If the hand is ahead, then you got to try to sell a phantom tag.
Here's the 1-2 to Alvarez. Struck him out. Second time
Dempster
tonight.
is picking it up. 3 strikeouts in a row.
Joe Mather has moved from center field over to left field for the Cubs. Soriano coming out of the game, and Campana remains in to cover center field.
Yeah, if you get the ball early enough, you just put the ball down there, because eventually they have to come to the base. But if that hand is ahead, then I guess you got to try to get tricky. Sometimes you can sell it, sometimes you can't.
Neil Walker looking for his first hit of the ball game. Struck out his last time up looking. Flied out foul and flied out to center.
Activity now in the Cubs bullpen, but it might be a moot point the way Dempster has picked up his effectiveness late in this ball game. He's pitched a very good ball game. I mean, we've been singing this song. We're kind of preaching to the choir. We've seen so many performances like the one Dempster is giving the Cubs by Pirate pitchers that have been wasted.
Hanrahan getting loose to pitch the 9th for the Bucks.
There's a chance that Dempster will go the way of some of the Pirate starters.
Walker hits this one well to right field. It is going back. It is off the wall. Walker will pull in with a double.
Boy, I thought he had enough of it. Great at bat for Neil. I thought when the ball left the bat, it was out of here.
7th double of the season for Neil Walker. 1 for 4 tonight. And now the Pirates get a very important insurance run in scoring position.
One of the reasons I thought it was gone is that DeJesus just turned around and looked at it, but he was just looking where he would try to get to the bounce. Neil knew that he got a lot of it. Didn't miss by much. And now here comes Dale Swain.
So Dale Swain out to the mound, and he will talk to Ryan Dempster. Hasn't asked for the ball yet. Now he points to the bullpen, and the left-hander James Russell will come in to face the pinch hitter Garrett Jones. 1-0 Pirates in the 8th. Out of the ball game, didn't hit a home run this time. It was high off the wall, but he did on opening day of 2011 at Wrigley Field. The only home run he's hit off of Dempster. Base is full. It's a grand slam. It's the Coors Light cold hard blast. Only Neil Walker and Roberto Clemente have hit opening day grand slam in the history of the Pirates organization. Today's cold hard blast brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Nothing cheap about that one in Chicago either. Way up into the seats.
Less than ideal weather conditions, too. Here's James Russell, the lefty, taking over for Dempster. Dempster with 7 1/3. Well, he gets set to face the left-hander Jones.
Looks like he should be starting for the House of David. There's a traveling team that used to go around barnstorming called the House of David, and that's exactly the kind of hairstyle they had.
Right now the Pirates need to find a way to get that man home and get some insurance for Joel Hanrahan, who will come on to pitch the ninth.
Yeah, a little wiggle room, please. Just a little bit.
Ryan Dempster not too happy with how things ended up. He worked hard tonight getting into the 8th. In fact, had struck out 3 in a row before the double by Walker chased him. Struck out the last 2 in the 7th. Harrison and McCutchen. Got Alvarez to start this inning.
This will be the 17th straight start where he has not won.
Well, get Walker over to third base. But that was an excuse me check swing, not what Jones had intended. Now 2 men out. And if Rod Barajas can come up with another 2-out base hit, that would be all right. Barajas with an RBI single in the 2nd inning. He was driven in the game's only run. Can he get another one in?
Base hit here would not nearly be as exciting.
And he takes a strike with fastball, 91. Rod has brought his average up to 225. Pops it up. O'Hara will put it away, and the Pirates strand Walker. It's hammer time on to the 9th. Joel Hanrahan trying to come in and lock down a victory. The top of the 9th inning. Joel Hanrahan will try to pick up the save. Take a look at the Nissan road ahead. Paul Mahala makes his return to PNC Park in a different uniform tomorrow night to face Kevin Correa. And then Sunday back on Root Sports, Matt Garza against Eric Bedard. Coverage begins with the Pirates pregame presented by Trib Total Media. 1:35 first pitch, 1 o'clock for the pregame on Sunday here on Root Sports. So hammer time, Steve.
Yep, Joel Hanrahan on try for the save. The Pirate bullpen ranked first in ERA in the National League, third in the major leagues. The Texas Rangers and Baltimore Orioles rank ahead, but the best in the National League. They have been phenomenal. And it's come down to this, looking for 3 outs. We talked about needing another stellar, airtight performance by the pen. We have gotten it to this point. Need 3 more outs. It's never easy.
Bottom of the order up for the Cubs. Darwin Barney, the 7-hitter, starts it off. 1 for 3, had a base hit in the second inning, stole a base, and then was stranded. Barney takes ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch to Barney. It's way inside at 95. Joel falling behind, 2 balls and no strikes. Gets the strike in. So some heat. And Hanrahan says his hamstring's been feeling a lot better. He injured it in the middle of April in San Francisco. Tried to hide it for a little bit and just worked through it. Says it's feeling strong now. 2-1. That's fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cranked that one up to 96 miles an hour. Couldn't get Barney to bite there.
That close. Check it out. Ooh, that close.
Wow. Now the 3-2. To right field, and that's going to fall in for a hit. So the Cubs get the leadoff man aboard in the 9th, and they've got the tying run on for Coy Hill.
Never easy.
Well, the pitch before looked like he struck him out. Next pitch, base hit.
Pedro Alvarez in on the grass.
And now Hill will square. Firmly bunted to Hanrahan. He goes to second. They get the lead runner.
Large. And Joel came in and threw a strike with some mustard on it to get that force out. You can't baby this throw. Joel gets it. He knows he has a chance and a perfecta throw.
So that was the chance right there to get the tying run in scoring position for Dale Swain. Reed Johnson is going to pinch hit in the 9 spot. 246 hitter.
But he has been a pain in the neck against Pirate pitching.
There's the pitch to Johnson. Up by him at 97. This was just the 3rd time Johnson's come to the plate against Hanrahan in his career. He is 1 for 2. And Hanrahan struck him out the other time. To right field and a base hit. Taba's going to have to hurry to get to it. And first and third with 1 out. Reed Johnson, the pinch hitter, comes through for the Cubs. Coy Hill is at third base. 90 feet away from tying this ball game up.
Reed Johnson has been doing this to the Pirates for quite some time. Just looks to slap the ball the other way, knowing he's probably going to be late on it, but gets the ball inside the chalk, and the Cubs set up shop now. DeJesus struck out last time up, so he is vulnerable to that. He struck out 31 times, so not an enormous number, but he can be had. And here we go. Here we go.
Pops this one back for strike one. The other thing, too, the left side of the infield's got to be wary because the right-handed hitters went to right field.
Yeah, opposite because they're a lot behind on the fastball.
So it's nail-biting time right now for the Pirates. Joel Hanrahan walking the tightrope.
You obviously are thinking with Joel all the time strikeout, but you're really thinking about strikeout now.
0-1 pitch to DeJesus. Oh, with 10 saves, going to work hard to get number 11 here. Try to save it for Burnett. Coy Hill stands between Burnett and a decision. Strike two now.
Okay, now he's in that zone where he can rack up that strikeout. Does he stay with the heat? Does he go with the slider? If he does, Barajas has got to be on his toes. Back at home plate, you got a man at third base. That biting slider in the dirt is a constant challenge for a catcher. These guys are into it right here.
Also got to think about Johnson at first as he trying to advance.
Rod Barajas to go through the signs again.
Struck him out.
Locked him up huge.
Well, the wait was worth it to strike out DeJesus. Now one more to go, and it's a tough one too.
The backdoor slider, maybe picking up that outside corner, and it's going to be their best hitter against one of the best closers in the National League. Dig your heels in. We need an out.
Starlin Castro, 2 out of 4, hitting .317. 316 with runners in scoring position. Ball one to Castro. Castro hitting right-handers at a .292 clip. And he's done well on the road at .341. 3 out of 7 against Hanrahan. Hanrahan has struck him out twice. 1-0 to Castro.
Looking for the fastball, didn't get it. When you see 89 miles an hour on the board, you know it's not the Joel Hanrahan fastball.
Coy Hill at third. Cubs trying to get him in here in the top half of the ninth. Strike two. So Hanrahan a strike away.
Yep, everybody's going to be standing up now. Great crowd on hand. Another great pitching performance. And you need to pound this nail in. Finish the deal.
Everybody on their feet. Better than 29,000 tonight. The 1-ball, 2-strike pitch to Starlin Castro. He'll get another.
Yep. Again, went away from the heat, the slider. Castro was able to get out there early enough, but find a way. He found a way to make contact. Put him away, Joel. Send everybody home.
Got him! The hammer comes through, and the Pirates win it 1-0.
That's what the big-time closers do. You get in a jam, you get challenged, you reach back, you get something extra, and you put them away. You put them away. Runners on first and third, strikeout, done deal.
A 1-0 shutout here tonight as the Buccos get the win. A.J. Burnett picks up his third as a Pirates starting pitcher. So they've hoisted the colors, and the Buccos get their 21st win of the season.
Well, they'll never work harder.
Let's send it over to Paul Alexander and Kent Colby right now.
All right, guys, thank you very much. And Zeke, it never appears to be easy tonight. Certainly not an easy one, but starting with A.J. Burnett, then to Mr. Grilli, then to Mr. Cruz, and then Joe Hanrahan makes it even more interesting than he wanted to. But when you're making one run stand up, you're pitching the heck out of the baseball.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Pirates, there have been too many one-run games, and they hadn't won any of them until tonight. But, yeah, you're right. A great pitching performance by everybody that went out there. You're pitching the entire night with your back against the wall. You know, just by the way the game's going on, that the one run that the Pirates got might be the only one in this game. You need to hold down your part of it. Each one, Burnett is a starter, and then each one of the relievers did that.